Global tensions are escalating each year, and authoritarian states seem to believe they can act with impunity. Unfortunately, countries like Iran, North Korea, and Russia possess some of the most lethal weapons, raising concerns that the onset of a nuclear war may be imminent. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Spoiler alert from the beginning, but there's nothing to worry about. So relax, and let's imagine what might happen if North Korea were to launch a nuclear bomb. Let's get started. Nuclear bombs and delivery systems. North Korea already announced in 2005 that it possesses nuclear weapons and conducted an underground test of a hydrogen bomb in 2017. What if Kim Jong-un decides to use those bombs? Of course, the scenario depends on where North Korea launches its missiles and how many it can launch simultaneously. Potentially, every adversary of North Korea, including the United States, could be in the danger zone. Let's consider a scenario where the United States territory is under attack. North Korea has three means of delivering nuclear warheads across the sea. The Hwasong-18 missile is the most recently developed, announced in February 2023, with tests conducted in April and July. It's North Korea's first solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile, believed to be developed in collaboration with Russia. This missile can carry a payload of up to 1.5 tons, including a nuclear warhead, to a distance of up to 15,000 kilometers. In other words, Kim Jong-un could potentially target any location within the United States territory. Impact. In the event of such an attack, the United States may only have 30 minutes or even less to prepare for a nuclear strike. Such an attack would be catastrophic. Professor Alex Wellerstein of Stevens Institute of Technology created a website to predict the impact of a nuclear attack, allowing anyone to choose a location and estimate the effects of a specified yield nuclear explosion. Let's say a 250 kiloton bomb is dropped on the center of Los Angeles. Most buildings and structures within a 2.8-kilometer radius from the blast center would be destroyed. People in this area would suffer not only from radiation and shock waves, but also from fire-related damage. After such an explosion, the heart of Los Angeles would become a pile of contaminated debris, never to return to its former state. Let's expand the range to 5.8 kilometers from the blast center. People in this area would experience third-degree burns, but there would be no immediate threat to life. At 7.4 kilometers, buildings would still stand, but there could be significant damage due to shattered windows. The reason is the speed of light, faster than anything else. When people see the flash, they approach the windows to look outside or take pictures. At that very moment, the shock wave causes the glass to break into fine, extremely dangerous shards. If a nuclear bomb were dropped on the center of Los Angeles, there could be a potential death toll of 378,000 people, with an additional 861,000 people injured. It might be wise for the United States to have means in place to prevent such a disaster. What do you think? Beginning. Now it's late at night. In a silo deep underground somewhere in North Korea, preparations for the launch of the solid-fuel missile Hwasong-18 are underway. It's easier to conceal the preparation of this missile than the launches of the liquid-fueled Hwasong-15 and Hwasong-17. Surely, Kim Jong-un is somewhere nearby. This dictator loves to have his photo taken with weapons in the background. And when he gives the order, the propellant beneath this intercontinental ballistic missile is detonated, launching the missile from the silo. The first stage engine ignites at a height of about 15 meters above the ground, and the missile, carrying a nuclear warhead, soars into the night sky. The countdown begins. The missile rises almost vertically, breaking through the resistance of the dense atmospheric layer and ascending to an altitude of over 1,000 kilometers. Meanwhile, the night sky is monitored from space by military satellites equipped with the United States' Space-Based Infrared System, SBIRS. The satellite system is positioned in geostationary orbit and a highly elliptical orbit, detecting the heat emitted by the missile literally within 1 second and transmitting that information to Earth. The signal of a missile attack is received by 2nd Space Warning Squadron at Buckley Space Force Base in Colorado. From that moment, the satellite continuously tracks the heat signature and flight path of the ballistic missile. The library of this tracking system contains characteristics of all identified missiles to date, including the 2 launches of Hwasong-18 in 2023. The automated system quickly finds matching data. The launch site and type of the missile, potentially carrying a nuclear warhead, are now identified. Let's assume the warhead is not detachable but integrated. Boost stage. The ascending intercontinental ballistic missile is large and vulnerable since it has just begun its acceleration, making it the most attackable target. However, a decision to intercept cannot be made during this phase. Perhaps this might not be the beginning of a nuclear war, but merely another military test, as has happened multiple times before. Consequently, the missile continues its flight without incident, and approximately 1 minute later, the first stage is separated. 1 minute later, the second stage is detached, and around 3 minutes later, the third stage is separated. At this point, the U.S. President and the entire leadership of the U.S. military have obtained information alerting them to the possibility of an attack. However, there is no certainty that it is an attack. Therefore, the U.S. military, along with the military forces of South Korea and allied nations, can only observe the flight of the missile and collect data. They need to confirm that there is an actual threat and determine what is being targeted. On U.S. Navy ships, the all-direction surveillance radar of the Aegis system, known as ANSPY-1, monitors the sky. In South Korea and Japan, ballistic missile defense systems such as the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, THAAD, and Patriot missiles enter full combat readiness to intercept short and medium-range missiles. Similar systems are also operational in Guam and Hawaii. These missile defense systems can intercept missiles entering the Earth's atmosphere, but they cannot shoot down missiles flying in space. Mid-course stage. After the separation of the 3 rocket engines, the warhead conducts ballistic flight in space towards the U.S. mainland for approximately 30 minutes. During this time, radars such as the PAVE-PAWS radar, capable of detecting targets within a radius of 2,000 kilometers, are operational in Alaska, Massachusetts, and California. Additionally, the sea-based X-band radar, SBX-1, is deployed and monitoring the sky. This radar is affiliated with Adak Island in Alaska, but is positioned somewhere in the Pacific. The 3-stage solid-fuel ballistic missile defense interceptor missile GBI is also on standby. This missile can carry the Exo-atmospheric Kill Vehicle, EKV, to an altitude of 2,000 kilometers. The EKV is designed to intercept North Korea's warhead. There are 44 interceptors like these deployed in silos in Alaska and California, covering almost the entire United States. The success rate of intercepting space-based targets with the EKV is 55%. So, in addition to this, the West Coast is defended by the Aegis system, THAAD, and Patriot missiles. Terminal stage. The flight time of the missile varies depending on the target. The approximate arrival times for the missile are 29 minutes to Anchorage, 40 minutes and 30 seconds to New York, and 41 minutes to Washington. However, since the missile is flying towards Los Angeles, the estimated arrival time is 38 minutes. The missile has been flying for 30 minutes, dispersing decoys to interfere with interception in space. However, at this point, the interceptor's EKV flies towards the missile and misses the target. The next interception attempt also fails. Finally, on the third attempt, the interceptor hits the target, and the missile is destroyed, turning into small fragments. Phew, that's a relief. The nuclear explosion has been averted. But it's far from over. Kim Jong-un must take responsibility for his decision. Normally, a declaration of war requires congressional approval, but a nuclear attack is an exceptional circumstance. Therefore, the US president doesn't need to consult with anyone and can order the use of nuclear weapons directly. However, in most cases, the president consults with the Secretary of Defense, the military, and civilian advisors. If the president is at the White House, discussions on such matters take place from the Situation Room, or if the president is away, discussions happen through secure communication channels. With little time, the decision is made in just 30 seconds. In this case, the president decides not to retaliate with a nuclear attack to avoid a large-scale war. However, military operations are unavoidable. Soon, North Korea's military facilities turn into ruins, and there is a high possibility that the country itself becomes a non-functional state. Hooray! We won! So, we can breathe a sigh of relief. With that, today's video comes to an end. Thank you everyone for watching. As you can see, this is purely a hypothetical scenario, and as of now, there's no issue and no one has launched a nuclear bomb anywhere. At least the likelihood of this happening is lower than many other disasters that could harm us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it on social media. We appreciate your support. It's time to say goodbye for now, but remember to focus on positive things. So, are we agreed? Well then, let's meet again soon. Goodbye.